They don't necessarily have to see every animal on the farm, but they at least need to be knowledgeable of your operation of your farm and able to give judgment as to what your animals are requiring when it comes to prescription medication. Because we can't have no cows getting hooked on dope. You know what I'm saying? We can't have these chickens clucking around here, cracked out chickens. We can't have none of that. If you don't have any antibiotics in your home right now and you're raising animals, you need to run out and go stockpile as much as you can, as fast as you can, while you can. This is a warning. They want you to stop doing this. They want to be able to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They want to control your food. How much of it you have, how you raise it. Basically, they want you to eat fake meat. That's what they're pushing for us not to raise our own animals. So whether you are a small farmer or a big farmer, this affects you. And if you are the consumer, this affects you. Stay tuned. Many of us know that when you're raising animals, things happen. You need medical care, but not everybody has the funds to run to a veterinarian every single time a scratch, a scrape, a cut, or whatever happens to our animals. So we run to the nearest Tractor Supply or feed store of our choice, and we find antibiotics. We find other things in there to fix our animals up and go on about our day. Because at the end of the day, it's about maintaining and having money for other things, not running to the veterinarian. But apparently, they've gotten together and now we have to. So let's get into it. Years ago, I used to raise bull mastiffs. Before I met my husband, he raised and bred Rottweilers. So we definitely used our fair share of things that we had to if something took place. Because who has that kind of money to keep running to the veterinarian? But that is exactly what we are going to have to do. So this is about what farmers need to know about the FDA guidance, ending over-the-counter antibiotics. So this month is March. Basically, we have about 3 months now left to either stockpile as much antibiotic, over-the-counter antibiotic that we can. If you can't afford the veterinarian to come out to your place or take your animal to the veterinarian. This is not one of those shows we see on TV. This is real life, okay? And real things happen to real people. But beginning June 2023, farmers won't be able to buy any over-the-counter antibiotics for their animals. This will be big change for farmers, many of who are accustomed to doing much of their own veterinarian care. Yes, yes, yes. Like it or not, farmers need to be prepared. But this is not just for farmers, right? So like I said, this is not just for farmers. Anybody who needs antibiotics for their animals, you will not be able to buy them over the counter. Now, this is not something that just happened overnight. This is a change that came about in 2021. This article clearly states that this change is for everybody. It's for every livestock producer, and a lot of small animal folks are used to being able to purchase over-the-counter medication. So the new FDA guidance recommends manufacturers of medically important antibiotics that are currently available over the counter label their drugs available by prescription only. The guidance was finalized in June 2021 and will take effect in June 2023. So they gave us 2 years to do this. And guys, if you haven't stocked up on this, please, by all means, go ahead and do so. This is how it's going to work. Farmers will need to have a veterinary client-patient relationship in order to get antibiotics like penicillin, oxytetracycline, and erythromycin. you will need a prescription. You will not be able to go to the store and get the following. It is just amazing how many rules and regulations they come up with when it comes to raising our own food. Whether it's growing your garden or raising your own meat. It's so many guidelines now. It makes you not want to grow. It makes you not want to raise your own meat. But that is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to stop doing those things. But I urge you, don't stop doing those things. Stockpile, hoard, whatever you can, these antibiotics if you're going to need them. I personally will be stocking up on a lot of those things for this homestead and for the other property where we have the bulk of our animals at, because we intend to add more animals to that land. So even if you find the veterinarian, they want you to establish a relationship with them. The veterinarian has assumed responsibility to make medical judgments for farmers' animals. The veterinarian will communicate those judgments with the client, and the client agrees to follow the instructions of the vet. The vet should also be available for follow-ups in case an adverse reaction occurs. Typically, this means a producer has regular visits with the veterinarian in the care of their animals. Y'all, really? Really? They're also saying that routine visits might be something different for each and every farmer, whether you're a small or a big farmer, I guess. So defining what that might look like for you with your veterinarian, every relationship is going to be different. In West Virginia, a veterinarian to visit a farm at least once a year. So each state, y'all, is what they're saying, is going to have different regulations. So find out what it is for your state and I guess try to abide by it. But I do encourage you, and I never really encourage anybody to go hoard anything. I might say you should hoard some of these things, and this is definitely one of them. So it's saying when the veterinarian comes out, they don't necessarily have to see every animal on the farm, but they at least need to be knowledgeable of your operation of your farm and able to give judgment as to what your animals are requiring when it comes to prescription medication. Because we can't have no cows getting hooked on dope. You know what I'm saying? We can't have these chickens clucking around here, cracked out chickens. We can't have none of that. So by now, we all know that, if you take something, too much of something, your body adjusts to that and it becomes ineffective. So I understand what they are saying, but guys, this is going to put a strain on a lot of, not just small farmers, big farmers too. They're struggling as well, with inflation and everything else. I mean, it's bad enough the antibiotics that are still in the store do cost a lot. I took a video, here it is right here, so you can see what my local Tractor Supply had in there. And they didn't have a couple of the medications that they talked about, but they did have maybe 2 or 3. But y'all, they want to control the food, and they're doing a great job at doing it. And if you can't see that you need to take control, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have a stockpile of food in your home or animals on your property, your land that you can feed your family with, they will be able to give you what they want you to have because they know you don't have anything and that you need this. And when people need things, that's when other things take place. You basically sell whatever to get food for your family. So don't be in that place. Stockpile your food. If they want to call you a hoarder, oh well, I'll be a hungry hoarder. So if you're still here at this point in the video, put a 1 in the comments. But y'all, many times I always say when California does something, eventually everybody else starts doing it too. I don't know what it is. It's why California is not a state. It's a country. It's a country. It's its own democracy. I don't know what it is. But in 2018, they're saying that California in 2018 came up basically with this, where They had the same concerns as many farmers have about impacts to animal health and operating costs, but they've adapted. They made every single antibiotic something that you would have to get a prescription for. And so now everybody is jumping on board with what California is doing. I mean, I don't understand how they get to, never mind, because that gets political. Never mind. So it goes on to, before it closes. So the article reads, having those relationships in place before June 23rd can really help eliminate that concern that you can't have antibiotics on your place when a pneumonia pops up. Right? That's what it says, right? You know how quickly they go downhill. So if you're lambing or kidding and you have the protocol for pneumonia, that's something you can work out with your veterinarian for having those drugs on hand so you can treat the animal as soon as possible. Of course, none of this alleviates the shortage of large animal veterinarians in rural areas, but it gives farmers time to prepare to pay more money, honey. Okay? So don't wait. Like the article says, don't wait until you have an emergency or you really need some of those. Prep today so you're prepared for tomorrow. Drop that seed today so you can grow food tomorrow. See you guys in the next video. Y'all take care. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll holla.